Hi everybody, welcome back to today's video. This is going to be the May 2024 Tropic Heat Bargain Bead Box collection. I've decided to do this collection in 3 different videos. So there's part 1, part 2, and part 3. This video being part 1 will be done with these earrings here. So cute, I just love them. Part 2 is going to be a couple of different pieces that I've done that are very, very easy to make. They're not intricate at all, very easy. They can take minutes to create. They're so pretty though. These ones here are a little more intricate. Anybody can do them. They're not hard to do. It just takes a little more time to do these. I find when I'm looking at the analytics of all my videos, I find that you guys like the shorter versions a lot of the time of these tutorials. So like I said, I'm cutting it in 3 different parts. So this is part 1. Before we begin, please like this video. If you do like this video, subscribe to the channel if you like the content here, and hit that notification bell, as I am going to be uploading quite a bit more over the coming months to cover this and some of the other things that I've been creating and designing. So that would be greatly appreciated. Okay, let's get to this video. Okay, so these are the beads and the findings that we're going to be using from the Tropic Heat collection from Bargain Bead Box. This box is May 2024's box. And so I'm going to go through what I have here. So these are number 9 on your list. If you have the collection, you'll have the list of all the beads that they give you in this collection. So we're going to be using number 9. This is number 9 in your collection. This is a 4mm crystal faceted bicone beads. These are in tangerine. These ones are 6mm carnelian beads. These are number 6 in your list. These are number 3 in your list, and these are the 6mm quartz faceted cube beads in magenta. These ones here are number 4 on your list, and these are 8mm crackle agate round beads. This is number 10 on your list, 4.5 by 5.5mm crystal faceted triangle beads. These are in sunshine. The lobster claw is number 17 on your list, 16 by 6mm brass lobster claw. These are my own jump rings, very easy to make. These are made out of 18 gauge wire. And then I've pulled the 29 by 13mm mountain jade dyed and brass faceted link. This is number 7 on your list. I also use 18 gauge faux gold wire from Parawire. Now I do have out my 28 gauge faux gold wire from Parawire. I may go and get a slightly bigger gauge. I'm not really sure. If I do, it'll be like a 21 or 22 gauge if I have it. I will let you know through the video if I do decide to change, but right now I've got the 28 gauge. You're gonna want a ruler. And then this is a square mandrel, the Beadsmith square mandrel. We are going to create this link. We're going to take the 18 gauge wire, and I am going to cut off 4 inches of that wire. And I'm just going to play with the wire just a little bit, just to get it nice and straight. And I'm going to trim off the ends so they're not so sharp. I'm going to take my square mandrel, and because this one has an imperfection here, I'm going to use that one and put it approximately in the middle and bend one side as tight as you can. Bend the other side as tight as you can, and then cross them over on the top so it sits like that. And what I like to do is take it one size smaller on the mandrel and just squeeze the top, and that way it'll hold its shape a lot better. And so this is what it's going to look like. I'm just going to get these out of the way here. Now what you can do is play around with it just a little, just to get it in more of a square shape. There. Now Now we have a good shape. So I'm using this set of pliers. You can see it's a little bit smaller here at the end and it goes wider. And this area here provides the perfect space for my posts. So I'm just going to double check and make sure I'm pretty much in the middle. It doesn't have to be exact, but it has to be pretty close. So that looks pretty close. All right, and I'm going to bend one of the posts up, and I'm going to bend the other one up. Ooh, and I overbent that one a bit. Oh, I want to do that. And that is what you'll have. Now I'm going to measure again, and this time it's going to be 3 1/16 of an inch that I'm going to take off for the posts. Instead of marking it, I just find it easier to do it this way. There. And then I'll measure the other side. There, and my posts are done. As you can see, I did hammer this link. So I'm going to go and hammer it. And I like to hammer just a little bit. Like this is coated wire, but you can hammer it very minimally. And I just find that it makes the structure a little bit stronger and holds its shape a lot better. So I'm going to go do that and I'll be right back. And there we go. We're ready to move on to the next step. Now the reason I made these posts 3 1/16 of an inch is because when you do your loop at the end, the number 2, the 2 millimeter on the wire looping pliers makes a perfect loop without anything left over. So as you can see, perfect loop. And make sure they're both going in the same direction. The wire is going to be a little distorted, as you can see. The loops aren't sitting quite right. Easy, just press them out. Play around with it a little bit. I'm going to take my small needle nose, round needle nose pliers, and I am going to pull these loops back just a little. And there is our link ready to go. So you'll need to make 2 of these. I pulled out my half round wire. This is also in the full gold. I don't have much left. It looks like I'm going to have to buy some more. I didn't mention this wire in my intro because I wasn't sure if I was really going to need it, but I think I'm going to use it. It just gives a really nice look to the link. And I'm just going to wrap it around the middle just to give it a little added security. So we're just going to cut off a little piece. It doesn't have to be exact. I'm thinking that's about 2.5 to 3 inches. I'm going to wrap the half round wire in between here. Now this is 21 gauge. With the flat side facing the link, I'm just going to go around. And just get it started. I'm going to push it to the other side. And then just start linking it around. If you find it easier to use your pliers, by all means, definitely do that. And I'm going to press it down, and already it's starting to look pretty good. Basically, you just want to wrap this wire around from there to there. Make sure you press them down so they're nice and snug. And what I'll do is I will snip off right in between this section here. It's going to be hard to get in there, even with these small little clippers. There we go. Okay, I'm going to do this one here. And then press that end down. Press that end down. Make sure there's nothing scratching. And we have our secure link ready for some beads. So we can take some 28 gauge. You can use 24 gauge for this as well. if you are more comfortable with that. And I'm going to cut a 12-inch piece. Might make it a little bit more. Let's do 12. I'll just go maybe 13 inches. Shouldn't need quite that much, but it's best to have a little bit extra. Remember to always keep your plastic pieces. If you buy the wire like this, you can put it back on and it just keeps that wire nice and secure. So what I'm going to do to attach this, I'm just going to go to one side, this side here, where the half round wire is sitting, and I'm just going to go beside that and make 1 or 2 loops just to secure it onto the link base. There. Now it's attached and we are ready to begin. So I'm just going to start adding my beads to this. I think I'll start with a large crackle agate. And maybe I'll put a crystal on there. These are so pretty. I really like these. Very unique. I'm going to have it curve to the side here. So I just need 1 bead maybe to fit in there, and I think that'll be the faceted magenta, I think it was. Can't remember now. And so that is our first addition, and then I'm going to take the 28 gauge and I'm going to wrap it around this side here. So start from underneath and work your way to the front, and go slow because it can get knotted up. So I've wrapped it 3 times. I'm going to go around this bead just to give it a little bit of a decor of wire. And then go down. And we're going to come back up through that wire that we just looped on top of the faceted crystal. Then I'm going to go back down underneath the crystal, the triangle crystal and the faceted bead, come back up, and we've just added a nice little wire touch to one of the beads. Okay, and then I'm going to add my next bead, and I think I will add a carnelian. That looks really pretty. And I'm going to take that wire again and bring it from the back to the front and do the 3 loops again. So we've got to fill up this negative space right here. So what I'll do is I'm going to go down the link again from front to back, and I'm going to come up just between this crystal, the carnelian, and the faceted bead. And we're ready for our next bead. So I've added the bicone, and I'm going to attach the wire here, just underneath the bicone. So again, 3 times. And now I'm going to go around this bead. Okay, so I think what we'll do is we'll add another crystal. There, that fits in there really nice. And I'm going to go around from back to front 3 times again. So that's 3 times. And this is what we have so far. Now I'm going to go back through because this is still kind of hanging out there, this little loop that I made. And I wanted to capture it before, but I couldn't capture it. So I am going to go back and I'm going to capture that and go down. So basically I'm going to go back through that loop and go down to the back, and that just captures it. Make sure it doesn't get snagged on anything. You don't want that to snag on anything. And the nice thing is, I mean, wire like this looks great no matter what you do. Seriously, you can't screw this up. I like the way that that looks. I don't want to add any more wire to it, like to the front. So I'm going to go bring the wire up, and I want to go on this side. And you can either snip it off here. I don't want to do that. I want to actually keep all the wire, the 28 gauge wire anyway, inside. So I'm going to wrap this wire just around the little piece of wire that's coming out of this carnelian. Just going to do a couple loops right around that wire, and then one more for good measure. And I'm going to trim that off right there. I'm going to take my small pliers and just press the end of that in. Now I'm going to take this wire that I put there, and I'm going to wrap it around. There's one piece of wire coming out of the middle of this crackle agate, and I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did with this one and tie it off. Making sure there's nothing that's going to scrape anybody. And there is your link done. So make another one like this and we'll be right back. Now that we have our links done, we're going to make a pair of earrings. We are going to now add these to our design. And here we are. Cute little earrings with the pendants and the square links. And honestly, you can use these links for, like, if you wanted to make a bracelet, if you wanted to do a pendant, you can do that as well. Now these are slightly heavier than I'm normally used to, but they're not overly heavy. I think they turned out beautiful. I love these. They're so unique, so cute. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was easy to follow along. I tried to make it as simple as possible. These are not difficult to make. I would love to see you give them a try. I love them, and I did say in the video that they're slightly heavier, but honestly, I don't find them to be uncomfortable. I wore them. I took my mom for lunch yesterday, and we spent all day in town, and I wore them. Beautiful, comfortable, love them. Look for part B at the beginning of next week. I will have that up for you. You guys have a great day, and I will see you then. Bye.